Hi, today I'm going to teach you how to use the web-based tool of TinkerCAD to create a 3D image that you could then print on this wonderful 3D printer. To start out with, I teach elementary school, and TinkerCAD does require you to put in a phone number, or not phone number, birthday, email, that type of thing. So it's not the best choice for elementary school children, but you can get around that by creating a teacher profile and then having the students make their creations under your teacher profile. It is web-based, so you could create it anywhere, but then you need to make sure that you can get the file to a computer that's connected to a 3D printer. I am here at the computer by our 3D printer. Here we are again, which in theory would be able to get me my shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is, if you look here to the right, you see a bunch of different shapes. TinkerCAD comes with lots of already created shapes that you can use. I'm going to choose to be silly because this is my first time using this program and I do not know all the ins and outs of it, just the basics from what I've been playing with of creating shapes. So I'm going to create a silly little character. I'll start with a couple of chick feet, and in order to get the objects onto your creating pad over here, you need to just drag and place them down. So there's one chick foot, grab another one, and bring it on over. Now I'm using a mouse right here, so I have my little rolly guy, and when I roll, that helps me roll out, roll in to see the different points of view. Then up here you see a cube on the top left where my cursor is, and you can use that cube to kind of rotate around and see all different points of view. So I kind of want to look at it from the top, and I notice that my feet are crooked. So I'm going to use my grid lines here to help me even my feet out so they can be even to create my little Eggman. All right, now I'll go back to a more kind of front top view and go to my egg, grab my egg and bring it on in. And I want to bring my egg a little bit forward so he's covering my legs. And it's nice to use your cube to kind of check all points of view, make sure there's nothing funky going on, sticking out. All right. I am going to give my lovely little Eggman a beanie. So we'll grab the beanie and bring it on out. Now when you bring something out, it immediately puts it on the plane, the level down plane. So it took some playing with to figure out what to do to bring it up. So I'm going to stick him in my egg, and then you notice there's an arrow here at the top. And that arrow is what you use to bring the object up. So I'm going to bring him up to the top of my egg, and again use this to make sure he's kind of even. Oh, nope, it's not. Looks terrible. So move it on over this way. Take a view of the front. Yeah, much better. So come down here to my character pieces again, and up at the top I have a couple of hands, so I'm going to take those and drag them on over. Same general idea, it brings it down to the bottom plane. So I want to move them towards my egg, use that arrow. Oops, what's going on? Sorry. There we go. When the arrow goes red, that means it's ready to bring out the hand. You want it to be in there some and connected, so when you print it, it will be a piece of your object. Twirling them around. Looks pretty good, looks pretty normal. My other hand, I'll do this piece guy, drag it on over into my egg and use the arrow. To bring the piece guy up. even it up. Take a look at all my different points of view. Make sure that it looks halfway decent. Put it back in. And then again, in order to print this as one figure, you have to group them together, which is a pretty easy step. I'm going to take my cursor, which you see over here off to the left, and I pull it down and it gets you a red rectangle. And I'm just going to include my whole figure in that red rectangle. Then up at the top, I see this group button has now been illuminated, and I can press the group button and everything is grouped together. When you do group them together, you lose the color, so it's gonna turn all one color. You can change the color of your shape by coming up here and clicking the solid, and then you have all different colors. Oh, look at that. Learned something new, multicolor. Looks like I can do that. It's back to its different colors than it was originally, or I could make him a blue egg or whatever egg color that I have the printer ink for. I'm going to keep it all yellow just to be on the safe side. Now, if I'm ready to print him, I need to export it. So I'm going to come up over here to export, click export. Our printer likes the STL, so I'll click that, and it comes down here as an exported item. I would love to show you how to print it and that whole piece. However, as in typical technology fashion, when you need it, it doesn't work. Our 3D printer was just moved into our computer lab and is missing a cord for hookup. So unfortunately, the 3D printer and the computer are not talking. I have this lovely little guy here, though, this little one-toothed jack-o'-lantern that IT printed when they first hooked the printer up in a different room as an example. This little guy did take several hours to make, so that is something to keep in consideration. The bigger the object, the longer it takes to make. And they suggested that you should not leave the printer by itself alone while it's printing in case something happens. So again, if you're teaching and the printer's not housed where you teach, you might want to keep that in mind. Talked to another teacher within my district who used this 3D printers, and they did say that they print very small items, and so it does not take them as long. So I hope you enjoyed this very basic tutorial on how to create a little Eggman through TinkerCAD, and then in theory would be able to be made into a 3D printing character. Some thoughts of use other than creating silly little characters would be architecture, using geometry to create houses. My students are right now learning about the human body, so you might be able to create and use some basic shapes to, for example, make a model heart or a model different body part model that the students would be able to put their hands on. And it's a lot of fun to play around with. It can suck a lot of time away. Definitely would suggest allowing students some playtime and perhaps starting with something basic or silly to just get used to the program before they start going for human hearts. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.